not the time when you're in the relationship. It is the time when you decide to leave that is the most dangerous and scary. Welcome to my podcast and commentary. I'm your host, Candy. Join me while we basically explore the human condition for the purposes of entertainment. Yes, this is the place where we talk about other people's shit. There's going to be something posted on the news or on social media that is going to make you gag. And we're going to talk about it. So get in here and close the door behind you. Let's get into some things. Hold on. It is the scariest thing. Oh God, hold on. As a parent of someone who suffers through mental health challenges, it is triggering, and it saddens me when I look in the comments. Leave that girl alone. Leave that girl alone. When they are older and they are adults, nothing you can do. Okay, I've gotten it all the way together now. I put on my glasses because I've done cried off the makeup, but I'm okay now. Okay, so let's play a portion of what it is that I'm talking about leaving. And choosing yourself in a toxic relationship or an abusive relationship. She said it better than I can explain it, so I'm just gonna play it for you.
Understand. I swear y'all don't understand. I swear y'all don't understand this type of person. That's why when a bitch always want to, I want him. Come on. That's what you want? That's what you think you want? Come on. Come on. Even in that phone. Oh my God, you're calling me a bitch. Oh, my apologies. You just said some shit a nigga didn't like. Oh my God, you're calling me a bitch. You're a bitch. That's what I would have typed back. But you know, see how shit go? You think you finna get some sweet nothings, bitch. Ooh, I know her top back was blue. I said, who's next? Bitch, I don't know why you... Well, then I'm just gonna leave you alone because I respect you more than that, and I really don't like not talking. Girl, like he said, bitch. But you thinking...
Yeah, I can't even imagine how hard it is when you have to, you have a social media following, and it's people who love to see you guys as a couple, and now to see that they're all saying that there's something else that you could have done. Not just triggering, it must be so infuriating because you're trying to still protect. She's still in that protection mode. And even though she's sharing some of the things, you can see that she's trying to hold back the majority of what was happening. But anyway, I digress. Let me let her continue.
Shit. Let your little sister be running from a person. Let you be running from a person. Let your mother be running from a person you have no idea about. None. So you can remember before she should have I should have just became a target. Just stood in the motherfucking middle of the road and just take me, and then take yourself. Because this person had his mind made up. So what you wanted me to do? Because I didn't record those phone calls. Because I didn't need to. But the phone calls, deadly. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Like a movie, bitch. Where the fuck are you at?
Basically, she's saying, in a nutshell, I'm not going to stand by and, I'm going to ride, but I'm not going to die. She's like, no, the last part of that, we ain't going to do that. That's not for me. The minute you tell me, I'm going to believe you. And you need to report it like 3 and 4 and 5 times before they believe you, or die. then that's when they're like, oh yeah, yeah. That's a whole nother conversation, but anyway. The next story is about Leanne Davis, so condolences to her family. Um, again, trying to leave after, you know, verbal abuse and toxic relationship, decided she's gonna break up, and he couldn't take the breakup. So I'm gonna run it for you. This comes by way of Law and Crime. So I do want to credit them for this. Let's run it.
Stand over there. Stand over there and don't move. I'm not moving, bro. I promise to God on my soul, I'm not moving.
Officers follow Kashawn to Leah's apartment, where they find an unresponsive Leah on the floor, blood coming from her head. A third officer arrives. They apprehend Kashawn to remove him from the room so they can fully attend to Leah.
I swear to God on my soul, I just got her granny and everything. I never. All right. Just take him out. Take him outside. She's got a gunshot wound to the head. But listen. She told me to go. Listen. So I came over here, right? I'm literally. She only let me stand right here. Mind you, okay? Listen. Did you listen to me? Yeah, I was listening to me. Listen, she only let me stand right here. Look, I'm gonna show you.
I'm not playing the whole thing again. I'm just playing the important clips for the purpose of the conversation, right? So the police were called. He called the police. And then apparently somebody else did call the police as well. But he called the police, which is the strangest thing. I guess to make himself look like less guilty. Anyway, let's continue.
Stand right here. Look, I'm gonna show you. She only let me stand right here, bro. Listen, she was like, I'm finna. I asked her, can I come over? She said, you can come over for a little bit. I said, okay. I said, but when I got over here, she was like, no, you can't come in or something like that because she wanted to get ready to go to sleep. I'm like, okay, you want to get ready to go to sleep, so I'm finna go. I literally came down here to my car. I literally came over here to my car. I got in my car. Okay, listen. Radio. Huh? Radio. Right? I'm literally.
7250, we got a gunshot wound to the head on a black female, not breathing, medical. Gunshot wound to the center of the forehead.
No pulse on her?
No. Like, that's crazy. That's execution style. You're not going to survive this. I don't care what happens, but I'm going to end you. And how dare you for leaving me, is what that says.
I really love this girl to death.
This man had the nerve to say he loved this. That's my girl, bro. I love that girl to death. Well, you sure did. You sure did.
But her door's unlocked because she just closed the door behind me, bro. I made sure she was okay because I told her when I was here, I said, okay, I'm gonna call you later like that because I know you got work tonight.
And the messed up part of it is that he's already threatened to kill her the year before, and he purchased a gun to do that. So the fact that she was still with him at some point after that, it goes to show you the mental mind fuck that they do when you're in an abusive relationship.
Investigators interviewed others who were close to Kashawn and Leah and found that Kashawn was apparently very possessive of her. The pair held a very rocky relationship, as alluded by Kashawn himself on scene. Other close friends shared that Kashawn had threatened to kill Leah last fall, and he allegedly purchased a gun in order to do so. News reports indicated Leah had 8 gunshot wounds in total, matching Kashawn's story that he heard 8 gunshots.
Yeah, it's sad that it had to end that way. And I think, this case ended, he went to court and he got life. Condolences once again. Another case about April Holt. So condolences to her family. And kudos to her mother. The mother, she's a real one.
This post to make people aware of the situation that we have at hand, let people come up with their own conclusions, since many people think that my actions might be unjustified. However, this is my child and I'm going to fight for justice for her. Her name is April Lynn Holt. On July 28th, she woke up, drank her coffee, journaled as usual, enjoying her peaceful morning, hugged and kissed her 7-year-old son, Denzel, and her husband then went into the bathroom and began to argue and fight. My 7-year-old grandson put his ear to the door and heard his parents fighting, and he looked underneath to see both of their feet. He then listened some more, but he couldn't understand what they were saying, and so he looked back under the door again, where he saw my daughter laying on the ground. He then ran to his room. His dad shortly after came into his room, and he got him dressed and he fed him. And he then had him go check on his mom. He asked him to go check on his mom, in which he unlocked the door by himself and saw his mom not breathing with a bag over her head on the ground. 911 was then called. We got to the hospital, and she had no brain function and no blood flow to her brain. We did not find out about the bag, which was not disclosed to us, for over 6 hours. In that time, her husband had went back to the apartment 2 times, not knowing I don't know what he was doing there. My daughter had requested a divorce 2 weeks prior to her death. On July 31st of 2023, my daughter was pronounced dead, and I want justice.
So this was shortly after she decided to get a divorce. And now the thing is, I'm sure that heated argument was about that. Because even though he was showing, oh, yes, it's all good, in his head, he was plotting, scheming. In his head, I believe. He was plotting and scheming. You're not going to leave me. I will end you before you're able to leave me.
No hard feelings. This is not a messy divorce or anything like that. We don't do that. This is like I said. Like he said, this is my best friend at the end of the day. He has been before the relationship, before the marriage, before the kid. So nothing's going to change that. So
look at her, bro. Like, I would never lose this forever.
You could send your son, okay? Your son who you're supposed to be protecting, you could send him in, and now he's double traumatized because you sent him in the bathroom to go find his mother, knowing how you left her, knowing you killed her. And it wasn't like, oh, she was just, I'm not saying it's any better, but no, not saying, oh, okay, just looked like she was sleeping and she was drowned, or maybe you suffocated her, or strangled her, and she kind of just looks like she's sleeping or whatever. The bag is over her head. This is how your son sees his mother in the bathroom, dead. And you sent him in there. So it's not like you didn't know what was happening. And in the fact that the police can say that this was a suicide is wild. She knew something was wrong. The police ruled it initially as a suicide, and she knew that that was not the case.
Everyone, yes, I am the mom that will do anything to get justice for her child. And so I am asking that today we do an online social media protest in honor of April Holt, my daughter, who was found deceased in July. And I am seeking justice, but I can't do it on my own. So Jamie Dickerson here, mother of April Holt. I made a post earlier letting you guys know that her autopsy has been changed from a suicide to a homicide. I also want to update you that there has been an arrest. The detective called me and did tell me that Donovan Holt has been arrested in the state of Texas for the homicide of April Holt. He is being transported back to Tennessee. And so that is the update.
If you know of anybody that's trying to leave, the first thing they have to do, you need to tell them, is first of all acknowledging that this relationship is not going to change. Just acknowledging that the relationship is not going to change, right? That's the first step, right? So all the love bombing, all the apologies, all the, the gifts and the attention that you get afterwards, after an argument or after a blow up or an incident, is a sign that it's just going to keep happening, right? That's number one. Number two, they need to decide that they're going to leave. That means when you decide you're going to leave, you're leaving. There's no going back. Because if you decide that you're going to go back, then it is, in most cases, the potential for it to get worse. Because now they have that on their brain. You tried to leave. And not only that, you embarrassed me, you humiliated me, you emasculated me, and how dare you try to leave, right? So there's that. So, you know, just if you're deciding this, you're clear that this relationship is not going to change, the behavior is not going to change, and then decide that you're going to go. And when you decide you're going to go, you have to decide it's a clean cut, right? And then the next thing that you have to do is tell it to someone. Make sure that somebody is aware of what is happening and what is going on. Have somebody that you can reach out to. And if you know, it has to be one person that you can reach out to, and be that support. And if you are that person that you are the support system, then, you know, just be there for that person, and let them know that they could reach out to you at any time, right? And number 4 is to, now you have to have a plan, right? Like, you have to make sure that when you leaving, if it's possible, you leave with at least $100. If you can't leave with any money, just make sure you have your ID at least, and a few things. And if at all possible, have somebody there with you when you're deciding to leave. Hopefully the person is not around when you decide you're going to leave. And then number 5, you got to make sure that you prepare yourself for the aftermath. You prepare yourself for the mind fuck that's going to happen after, because you're going to get a barrage of texts, a barrage of phone calls, and it's going to be unending and relentless. And if they know where your family lives, if they know where you work, it's going to be constant calls, and you got to put everybody on notice that, you know, this relationship has ended and this person is still trying to reach out to you. So you got to prepare yourself mentally for that. And it's going to be hard. It's the hardest thing, because you got to, you know, muster that strength to leave, which is all the strength you probably actually have. And then you still have to leave a little bit of strength for the after the consequence of you leaving now. And so just being prepared, very vigilant. This is the time where you're reporting and you're recording. You're recording everything that they're doing, recording all the text messages, the voicemails, the hounding, the stalking behavior, the harassment behavior. You're recording it and you're reporting it. Okay, so this is the stage where you're doing all of that. In the end, the last stage is just the healing process. This is where the sweat equity in your own self-healing comes into play. This is where you gotta put in the work now. You've gotta, you know, invest in your mental recovery, into getting yourself back on your feet financially, your money, your energy, and your time. As we all know, the physical can heal, right? Like, the physical injuries can heal. It is the emotional injuries that take the longest, and it's a long journey. We can see how these ended, and I could pull up, I don't know how many other ones. I can pull up so many where, you know, the person, you know, attempts to leave a relationship and it doesn't end well.